My obedience to God has changed my life. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, even though I'm going to try, about all the things that have happened in my life as a result of me being obedient to God. And so today I want to have a conversation talking about how obedience open doors and how that can happen for you. So, welcome back to another episode of the You, Me, and Jesus podcast, where we talk about all things you, me, and Jesus. First of all, I'm always so thankful that you watch my episodes here on YouTube and that you listen to the podcast because this is a very sacred thing that I do, which is coming online and telling you all the things that I tell you. Like, this is so sacred. And I'm just grateful that you choose to listen or that you choose to watch because it's such a sacred journey that I go on sharing my life with you. If you are watching this on YouTube, if you keep seeing me touch my eye, it's because I'm having some type of allergic reaction to something in the atmosphere in my office. And so my eye starts to water. And so if you see me doing that, I'm not crying. I'm like, this is a reaction that I had, which is why I have this little towel here because it happens all the time. But anyway, so I just want to say thank you for being people that enjoy listening to me or watching me share my journey and my relationship with God. So when it comes to obedience, when I hear the word obedience to God, I hear yes. I hear fear. I hear sacrifice. I hear afraid, and I also hear excitement because all the journeys that I have been on with God, when I have said yes to these journeys with Him, they have been some of the most amazing, scary, life-changing experiences of my life. And but I can't say that I always want to do them. I can't say that I always want to be obedient. But every single time I don't want to be obedient and I remember what obedience has done for me, it helps me to be obedient. And I I wish for more people, I wish for you to be courageous enough to, even when you're scared, even when you don't understand, to be obedient to God. Let me talk about some of my experiences of being obedient to God. So there's something happening right now, very present. So the other day, I create content on TikTok at teaching people how to make money online through social media. And a content creator who's brand new, somebody told him to find viral content, copy it, whatever. That's what he said. He took my piece of content and copied it word for word, frame for frame, even focusing on lip gloss when he's a guy. He doesn't even wear lip gloss, right? And he copied it word for word in an effort to create a viral piece of content that would help him grow his account. I didn't even know. And somebody in my community told me about it. And so I inboxed him to be nice because most people on TikTok, they will, not most, but some people on TikTok will get the creator canceled and all the type of stuff. So I inboxed him and was just like, hey, I see you got my video. Can you take it down? And then I commented on his video. And then, he didn't respond. So I was like, let me just wait. Let me not do anything. And so then I look up hours later, he has posted new content. And I'm like, okay, clearly he's still posting. So he may or may not have seen my message, but so I took our videos and I did a side by side where you can see clearly here's what I did, here's what he did, and it's the exact same thing. And then I had added my commentary to it, talking about how that made me feel, about how we shouldn't be doing that. And then I directly addressed him and said, "Sir, I asked you to take it down." Da da da. So then he like responds, and he's like, you could tell he's kind of freaking out. And he inboxes me. He writes on the video, and everybody's commenting, and he's like commenting back to everybody. He's like apologizing. And what did I do? I was like, what did I say? Did I do something? He took it down or whatever. Hours later, I just, I'm not saying that I heard God say this, but me and God are friends. So if I felt an impression to do something, I know that it's Him, especially something I wouldn't normally do. So I created a video responding to his comment about apologizing, and I did it spontaneously. And I told my community, I said, okay, he has apologized. Now I want you guys to go support him. And I started telling them about him and how he is a new creator, made a big mistake. And I wanted my 500,000 followers to go follow him and help him get to 1,000 followers. And I made a long video and I posted it. And then well, so far it's been like 100 and some odd people have gone to his account and they've all followed him. And he created a follow-up video, like apologizing and also thanking me for like throwing support behind him. And so then I decided to post about it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Threads. And I am watching the internet be shocked. First of all, I'm shocked that I did it, right? I am, but I'm not, you know? And everybody online is just like in shock of my willingness to not only throw my support behind him, but to see him as a human, right? Because I said, clearly he made a mistake, but I'm not going to get him canceled for making a mistake. What I will do is teach him the lesson, but also throw my support behind him because he's a father, he's a husband, he's trying to make money as a TikTok shop affiliate, and he's trying to get to 1,000 followers. And I was like, I see it, I get it. I'm not going to cancel him. I don't believe in cancel culture. And I talked about that online. And I'm watching how people are responding to it. I'm watching how people are responding to me and my heart. And it makes me tear up just thinking about it. And I'm watching people choose to follow me, engage with me. And for me, I felt like that was obedience. And that obedience is doing something for him. And it's also doing something for every single person that is experiencing the content, right? I also felt like I'm supposed to coach him. So I inboxed him and said, hey, I'm a consultant. I teach people how to grow on TikTok. I want to coach you for free. Email my assistant and we can set up a 45-minute call for free and I will coach you. What is that going to do? One, it's just allowing me to just be God's eyes, ears, and consultant, you know? Two, is going to let us connect. And three, it's going to let me help him grow his account. I'm not trying to get anything from him, right? It's just going to, whatever. And but what am I receiving from that? I wasn't doing it intentionally, but I can see that people on the internet can see I genuinely love God. I genuinely love people. That this is how you treat people. This is how you respond when someone does something or whatever. This is how you can respond versus the other way, right? And I already know how God is. I already know something's going to come of this. I already know it. This is happening in real time right now. I already know something's going to come of this. It always does. It always does, right? But also, sorry, my watch is going off. I have had instances where, like, let me see. I remember when God told me to move to Houston, Texas, when I was going through after divorce. And I was skeptical because I had never been to Texas before, moved to Texas before. And I was like, this is a big move, but eventually I did it. And being in Houston, like, changed my life. Like, I started experiencing God in ways that I didn't know what was going on. And it led me to find this church that could teach me all about what was going on with me. And I was in shock about what I was experiencing and that there was a language to what I was experiencing. So then years later, it led me to move to Redding, California, which I thought was a curse, being there for a little while. But it was one of the most sweetest seasons of my life because I was able to heal, be restored, recover in ways that I never could have gotten in the big city, and build my business. And then in 2020, he told me to get on TikTok. And I was like, that's crazy. But I did it. And it completely changed my entire life. My entire life changed getting on TikTok. He had told me years ago through a prophetic word that he was going to brand my name. I just didn't understand what that meant. Boom. And so all these things started to happen, right? And it's just been amazing. And then he asked me to come back to Houston, which I'm very excited about. And I am here, like, I don't really know why I'm here again, but I'm so excited because some things are going to happen here in Houston that I don't even know is going to happen, you know? And it's because I'm choosing to be obedient, you know? I remember years ago, there was somebody I had designed a logo for, and I don't know what was going on with her, but she was kind of defiant and whatever. And I was just like, okay, let's leave her alone. And she, sometime later, I saw her posting online about going through a divorce, something's going on. And I just felt like God was saying, go inbox her. So I inboxed her, asked her how she was doing, and we're just talking. And I felt like God say, give her $500. And I'm like, you mean the same person that was talking bad about me behind my back? He goes, give her $500. And I was like, okay. So I messaged her and I was like, God told me to give you $500. And she was just like in shock. And she was like, you don't know, it's my son's birthday and I don't have money for food or gas, all this stuff. And this is going to do X, Y, and Z. And I don't know the results of all that, right? But I know that changed something in her because this is someone who was talking bad about me behind my back. So then it's like, you know, and I've watched God pour in with me financially in ways that never could have happened. Like, you know what I mean? Just different ways. And even now, I remember when I was when I was in San Diego, I wanted to be at a more Holy Spirit filled church where they were just teaching things that would call me higher. And I had talked to somebody and they mentioned a lady and I went to her small home church and I knew I wasn't going to be there long, but I told them I'm looking for a mentor. I'm looking for people to be connected with. And I was there for just a couple months and I told them I want to stay connected. And since being back here, I shared with them, I said, this is what's going on with me. I'm still trying to grow, still trying to mature. Can we stay connected? And they're like, yeah. So just this past Sunday, I called her and was like, hey, here's what I'm experiencing spiritually. I don't know if it's this. I don't know if it's my hormones, and she was just like, well, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do X, Y, and Z, and then let me know. I said, okay, I'll let you know in 3 months, because I'm like, I got to go. I can't just get the answer immediately. Like, let me go and test this out and let's see what the result of this is. Right. But what that's doing is one of my desires was always to have a mentor who loves Jesus, right? That could be like a mama figure. Now, granted, we're almost the same age, but she's still like a mama figure in the spirit. You know what I mean? But we're also dealing with different life type of things. But I also wanted someone to have a husband. That way I can get some fatherly guidance too for my own life. But then eventually when I meet somebody, right? But it was the obedience of going there and the obedience of staying connected and then reaching out when I need guidance that is giving me my heart's desire. I love my mom. I love my dad, but it's very complicated. But all of this is happening due to my willingness to say yes to God, say yes to these little adventures, say yes to reaching out to people, exposing myself, putting myself in vulnerable situations, like yielding my heart to people or whatever. But every single time that I do these things that make me scared, that I don't understand, that I don't want to do, always yields quite the results. I'm always amazed at what I experience when I choose to obey God. Like, I mean, I have story after story after story that I could tell you. Some of them I just can't tell you right now. I can tell in the future. But I am like hoping and wishing that you watching or you listening, that in every circumstance, in every situation, that you will give yourself permission to have a conversation with God about it. Before you make a decision, that you will talk to God about it. because every single time I have listened and obeyed what he has told me to do, the results have just been beyond my comprehension. It's just been just the greatest things ever. It's not always been fun. It's not always easy. I don't always want to do it. I don't always have an immediate pay, but when God shows up, he makes it very clear I did that. And I'm like, yes, you did. Okay. Um, so I'll definitely share more in the future. Certain things I just can't share yet because it's just not time to share them, but I will. When he lets me, I definitely will. Or when it makes sense to share, I will. But today I just wanted to share those with you. And I wanted to encourage you with that because we all get an opportunity to trust God and obey God. And those people that do always eat the fruit of the land.